So, I know I've been having trouble with the names of the wives and stuff, so I looked up a few pieces of information just to see where we're supposed to look up stuff. And it says that a while ago I looked up in Spider Search the cherry tree, but I only put cherry tree down. So let's put, there's a sun revealed. There's a music commerce website that claims to sell the album, but it's sold on money. The CD was apparently so hard to find in stores. Cherry Tree is an album, and there blazed a spark of light that ever brightly shone from her starting days, parting wisdom to conquer life unknown. Though someday she'd depart in a part I'd never be alone, in my heart I'll always be the son of. Well, I'm guessing Mom's name rhymes with that. So then, not April. So it'd be Joan. Okay. Then I think the only other one we're looking for is miracles. Doesn't go by his full name. Televangelist, part of the Miracle Network website called Clergy Watch. He was exposed, subsequent charged with conspiracy to defraud the public, claimed to heal someone in a wheelchair. The news expose revealed that it was his wife Edith's sister in disguise. So her name is Edith, so she's the Edith. So what, we have two of them left besides this whole thing. So we have who? We have Helen and April. Here, the problem I have is I don't know what else information would be for any of that stuff. So it doesn't have any clues in here because all of the family members have been found. anything else we're missing? Wait a minute. Was that... There's like 3 other people here, but that guy's facing forward. Maybe that's something? Oh, it is! Okay, so that's probably who EC is, whoever he is. So that'll help me later. Well, can we look up? How do you spell that last name? Borich? No, that's spelled wrong. I feel like I'm missing something here too. Can we try that? Instead of November Studios, maybe they should have called it Place No Mention Studios. I don't know. I'm just like... For ballet. Let me see if I can find out how to find... Okay. Okay, so let's keep forgetting that we can look up all of, but they don't ever. Corrupted list of archives. Article cut off mentions an Edith Jacobson and an arrest. Okay. Crime blotter article about Edith Jacobson and also a Helen Roottree and a Lucinda Jacobson. Helen Roottree was quoted saying, "Jesus forgives, and so do we." They were caught by Helen, pretending to be church employees in an attempt to get to the room where the church houses their weekly tithings. Oh, well, that's wonderful. So you married the So, wait, hold on. So I'm guessing his mom's name was Helen. So she was the Helen Lennon, I'm guessing. So then his would have been April. Okay. Well, this is a little obscure. But they said in order to get this one, all I read was that we need to look up Christensen. Patricia Christensen in here. Christensen Steel. The Steel Company in Butler County on a World War History 2 history page. That's all you find there. Book review for steamy correspondence. Steel Company. Some are old birth announcements from the owner, Matthias Christensen. Patricia, the third of his 4 children, who was born in 1988. The company stopped being advertised about 1949. Around the time, there was a blurb stating that Matthias was stepping down and attempting to sell the company. Let's look at this then. Copy. Paste. And then what was her name? Tina Angelina. That does not sound like a fake name at all. Historical letters with an erotic twist. Each letter is accompanied by context from the book's author. A letter from the book has been added to your pages. Editor? 1934, someone who goes by Patch wrote a letter full of innuendo to an unknown gentleman. It's clear that she had a romantic history with. Patch is thought by the book's author to have been Patricia Christensen, a daughter of the owner of Christensen Steel. Her nickname is Paz. Okay, that makes sense. Patricia would have been in her mid-20s. The letter was written about. Was married to an older man of no notable status. This letter was most definitely not to him. There are also a few passages after some seamy bits that mention a daughter, leading to Tina Angelina to theorize this letter was written to the father of a child she hid from society in a way. The letter ends on a mention of a twisted twin that seems to invoke imagery from classic literature. If not for her story, yours and mine would be the most tragic tale ever told. How awful is it that such a beauty was ripped from its rightful fate, and worse, sent to live in possession of your brother's twisted twin. Left an outcast, forced to a life of labor under a wicked relative. It's like something from the start of a children's fable. She deserves not the life he has been sentenced to. I can't stand to be apart from you both. Someday I shall return to you, and I pray that he has not corrupted her to know his sins. I swear that on that joyous day, with all of the strength I can muster, I will fight for our child's freedom. Let us pray her fable has a happy ending. Tina has no theory for what the more cryptic parts of that mean. Huh. Well, so this is not something I looked up, but this is something that we know that EC is probably gay. Because in her in Laura's writings, it says that EC her dad said he was a confirmed bachelor, and he lived with his roommate, Mr. Miller. So I'm guessing that means that. Which. No, EC. Patricia was married. Pop warned us away from the farm for years. I never met EC in person, but Pop once referred to him as a confirmed bachelor, and I suspected that's why he kept us from there. Sam had grew up in the house with him and his roommate, Mr. Miller. And then she said that in the other writings of hers, that they saw Sam working with EC and John. So I'm guessing EC's spouse would be John Miller. And we know, because we got a picture, that's EC. So is it just Edward Clancy then? I did it! Is the final optional entries you found. Okay, so I did get all those right. I filled in the entire family tree correctly. Yay! Oh, that's so nice. Booyah!
So, you thought EC was Edward Clancy Roottree, and his partner was John Miller? That's exactly what I needed to hear. I'm Sam Madsen, though you know me as Samantha Roottree.
Yeah.
Yep, I got old. The only picture you have of me is from 40 years ago. My book tells the truth about Elias, of 5 pieces, and my parents. Not my biological parents, Elias Jr. and Patsy. My fathers, Edward Clancy Roottree and John Miller. By now, you've either read Lauren's diaries, or you're just an incredible guesser. Lauren was right. I hated the 5 pieces. She just didn't know my full reasoning.
Yeah.
My father, Edward Clancy, was a great man. But his identical twin Clancy and his father, Elias, were not. At age 16, my father was caught kissing a farmhand.
Aww.
Back then, they wouldn't even acknowledge gay people existed. Having one in the family was unthinkable. The same year, I was born. A bastard granddaughter. 2 stains on Elias's perfect family. He decided to fix both. They tried to erase Edward Clancy. They even removed his 5 pieces flavor. His name was deemed a dirty word. He became EC.
Aww.
We were sent to the farm, and the 5 pieces did their best to keep the next generation away, to isolate me from family. But Elias couldn't erase us from existence. Laura never realized I was the little girl from her diary.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, that makes sense.
Who could blame me for being so confused that day? Her father was an exact copy of mine, except without the beard.
Oh, true.
And while the 5 pieces celebrated a new factory, farmhands did the real work. It's a fluke there's a picture of my father at all, but there he is in the background. The 6th 5 piece. Patsy returned, and things got complicated for Elias. She fought for my freedom, from a life she deemed unworthy. Elias relented, so long as I never learned the truth or receive inheritance. They knew I'd help my father. At Elias's will reading, I learned part of the truth. The rest I learned at home. I began to hate the 5 pieces. My father made me stay silent. He was worried history would repeat, and that his grandchildren would become outcasts. His fears weren't unfounded. As you know, my son Ernie died a few years ago. He had trained to take over as president, but due to family politics, or perhaps hubris, it went to Guy. A real Roottree. He nearly ruined the company. When Ernie took over, he saved the operation. Over 13 years, he made the family billions. Ernie earned about $36. They got by on Debbie's salary, but when he fell ill, he couldn't pay his medical bills. His death was my tipping point. Originally, my book was meant to expose Elias's hypocrisy. Until I started to look into the other dirty laundry.
Yeah, the embezzlement and all that.
Ron tried to have Robbie removed from the trust, but couldn't. Robbie was a blood relative, even out of wedlock. That sounded familiar. The Clancid Trust that Elias established was designed to secure his family's future. His entire family's future. He couldn't write exceptions in without the whole thing falling apart.
True.
My book can definitively prove that Elias was not the paragon of virtue he's heralded as, and that my daughter and granddaughters are just as much family, at least in the eyes of the Trust, as anyone else. The Clancid Trust will secure their future. They can decide what to do with their shares. But I'm old, and I'm not in it for the money.
I figured that. I also figured you were Samantha, by the way.
The truth has been eating away at me for years. But now, I can set the record straight. Thanks to you. As someone who enjoys searching for the truth, you might understand the power it has. Whitewashing the past to protect the status quo can lead to repercussions in the present and future. So thank you. You knocked it out of the park. With your expert work, the truth will come to light. And when it does, my share of the Clancid Trust is yours. Like I said at the beginning, set for life. Looking at the family tree on your wall, now with my father's, everything finally feels complete. Unless a whole lot more root trees somehow appear from thin air. This is the last time I'll come knocking. Thanks again, and so long.
You know, she says that. Rolling down. Yay. Received mixed views, yeah. Life went on and a new president took over the company. Roottree family faded from the news cycle. And then everything changed. There's another mystery to solve. Roottree Mania is now unlocked in the new game. Yay! I'm a secret Roottree. Oh boy. Do I have to go to the new game? Spoil unlocked content. Make sure you tied up any loose ends before you start. Yeah, we definitely want to start. We'll start it in a safe slot by itself. Oh my gosh, there's so much.
Hi, I'm Clark. Probably not who you expected to be knocking, but life's funny sometimes.
Hi, Clark.
You've done well staying anonymous. It took us a while to track you down. A lot has happened in the last year. Far too much of it public. But there's stuff going on behind the scenes, too. I never wanted to be president. I'm not great with stress. And with my mother's deteriorating I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I'm not here for sympathy. I'm here because part of the fallout of Sam's book is that everyone's coming out of the woodwork. Now that it's public knowledge the Clancid Trust covers any Roottree despite their history with us, a lot of potential cousins have surfaced. You may have seen that man on the cover of News Time. That was a disaster for us. And then Miracle went and made it all about himself. The long and short of it is, a lot of potential cousins just showed up. Sam's helping some of them, but she's not really going about it the right way. And she's not taking calls from anyone in the family. I let it slip through a mutual friend that I found you, and I was stopping in. It's manipulative, but I'm hoping she'll reach out to you. You can let her know I'm on her side. In the meantime, if you're willing, I can share our files with you. Pass them along to Sam if she... Feel free to do your own research. I've been told you enjoy things like this. To each their own.
Yay! We got more! What do we got? Notable events. 6 pieces. The Roottree Rift. Clark Rafferty and Lavue. 5 pieces. Roottree Mania. Animom? What? Okay. Today is August 3rd, 1999. It's been 8 months since you helped Sam with research. Sam was true to her word and paid you an incredible large sum of money. She never mentioned you by name, however, so you've managed to keep low profile. The Rootrees, on the other hand, have not. Below is a summary of notable events since the book's release, though you can refresh your memory in full detail by searching online. 6 pieces. Sam Madison's book about Elias Roottree was released in February. It's the bestseller for the month. At the time, Carl had not yet been replaced. In March, the Roottree Rift. In March, the Roottree Company stumbled publicly as they attempted to respond to the book's release, with multiple conflicting press releases and a clear lack of leadership. Clark was announced the permanent successor to Carl Roottree and became Sam Manson and welcomed Sam Manson to the family officially. The company hired an outside legal group to handle the changes to the Clancy Trust. This included any other new questions of lineage. After this announcement, there was a rash of different people claiming to be Roottrees, mostly dismissed as opportunists and scammers. The highest profile of these was a rapper named Felix Fellows, who changed his moniker to 5pez as a publicity move at the same time. 5pez is the only notable person on the update tree. In another high-profile misstep, Miracle Roottree publicly and vehemently denied that 5pez was a Roottree. The Rootree's legal team then offered to do a DNA test to get 5pez to drop his claim, and in the moment that caught what seemed to be the entire world by storm, the test proved that he was a Roottree. Suddenly, the world was obsessed with Rootrees. Animom and Jane Doe Roottree. In July, an anonymous woman, who the press began to refer to as an Animom, appeared in interviews with her face and voice disguised. She claimed that she had an affair with the Roottree that led to the birth of her daughter. If true, this would make her daughter yet another secret Roottree and therefore entitled to the share of the trust. Nobody knew it at the time, but this would turn out to be the last chapter of the Roottree. As more and more of Animom's stories come out, people begin to notice how much it echoed 5pez in nearly every significant way. The court of public opinion began to turn, confirming the world's suspicion. The DNA test proved that the daughter was not a Roottree. This final event caused public disappointment, smugness from doubters, and countless accusations of entire ordeal being an elaborate hoax or attempted fraud. Now, a month later, it feels like a distant memory. Okay. Yep. This is just a rehash. Pretty much. Campaign posters. And led to Carolyn's art book, which enabled you to find out more of the tree. Chris Raff. Ron and Robbie. Cryptically mentioned in the book about historical letters. Lauren and other books. Sculptures. Yeah, that's just a rehash of what happened. Yep. And this is a rehash of what just happened. sort out infidelities. I recommend you turn your eyes to the men in the positions of the power. I'd love to say that's only because it would have been a lot harder for the women to hide 9 months of pregnancy and birth without family noticing, but I'll be blunt. I'm no stranger to infidelity. I wish I could claim that I was a perfect husband, but you've seen the family tree, so why pretend? Some of us learned how to wield our family name and fortune to our benefit. Consequences be damned. Yep. Alright. Whoa. So, yep. It gave everything. Person is also in the original tree. Person is also in the original tree. Ooh. Person is also in the original tree. Infidelity. 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 Oh my god! How many infidelities? Jesus. Is this you, Clark? Did you do more? Did you do more than that? Kind of want to say yes. I kind of want to say no. Okay, so okay. Let's start with, I think he's the only one that's on there, is 5 pets. So then, let's start by looking him up. Yep. Do I have to put it all together like that? Felix Fellows is a rapper known for particularly harsh reviews of modern music. He gives the most recent album, Dirty Davy. Review mentions his real name is David, and he used to go by Dirty Davy. The author ruse the fact that this rebranding was by. Apparently, there were no other songs in the. She overdosed when she was 16. An alias. An article he found on the website known for the regularly harsh reviews of modern music gives him the most recent album, Root of Evil. 1 star to 7 for whatever reason. More poser than my action figure collection. Denying that PFL, the article from the issue with Miracle on the cover is added here, which means Miracle's one of them. Because they wouldn't have given me a picture if Miracle wasn't one of them. So I'm wondering if he's the one who's had all the sex in the last. Like, or if he's the one who's 5 pets. Article focus on what? Love you. Sorry, my husband was screaming at me. I read both the articles as well as a close-up photo of 5pence holding the cover of the issue. Manager name and simply said no. Roottree sisters Carl and Brenda. Unauthorized biographies, Martin's diaries, VHS releases, countless other things. The secret literature became immediately fashionable. Times holding a Polaroid of his mother, Joanna, and she was Zach Morton's secretary at the company picnic. He claims that Johanna and Guy Hudson, also in the photo, were having an affair that led to his birth. Oh boy! Oh, so was Guy one? Does that mean that you have only like one? Oh, he's the only one who's here. Whoa. Felix. Got those, right? He's a rapper. Or would it be musician? Do they actually have rapper? No, they don't. So it'd be musician. I do not know her last name. Because I do not think... I don't know their first name. I think he was the third, wasn't he? She was the secretary. So who's Joanna? Let's see. Can we look up Joanna Fellows? Can we actually look up Guy now? Rootree's lawyers have been quick to threaten litigation to anyone who's tried to disparage Guy or the company in public. During Roottree Man, he suddenly rose to prominence again after 5pence appeared on the cover of a magazine holding a photo of Guy in his booker. Stories about debauchery and swagger parties. Guy liked to throw large holiday parties whenever he had an excuse. Never prepared. Okay, so then periodicals, other kind of times. Let's see. I Hudson then. Ooh. Okay. So, well. Phoenix feathers. Wonder if we can search periodicals for him. Mother Joan was Zach Martin's secretary, and he retired secretary for 1 or 2 weeks before she quit. His parents divorced when he was 4 after his father learned of the affair of Felix and his mother. They moved to Portland because she was afraid for her and her son's life. He grew up with her until he was 16, but one day his mother and Naylor came home from the movie rental store where she worked register. Next morning, they found her dead from an overdose in her car. Some photos and a stuffed animal from her childhood. Box in the back of the closet. Instead, there were love letters and photos relating to Guy Hudson. The only one where they were dressed, not from the affair itself. Ooh, ouch. He was born Felix Fellows to Riley and Joanna Fellows, but has never rapped without a manicure. Claims able to confirm that Joanna did work for the Roottree Company soon after. Roottree is seen to overwhelming number. So it's Riley and Joanna Fellows then. Is there something wrong with that? Or is it not God? Oh, I need to get 4. And I've only got like 2 now. Great. Okay. So I know Miracle did one. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I've been looking up Stephanie. Baby photo! Yay! Named after her grandmother. She named her after her grandmother. Is that Claire? See. Baby photo. Her daughter is named for her grandmother, which ended up very fitting considering she was born the night before Christmas. So, Carol. Oh. Duh. Her grandmother, not Stephanie's grandmother. So then her name is not Joanna Fellows. But I don't know. How to look up her real name. And bare source of the album with mostly material. Mixtapes before he became All Your Problems was first known after dropping a single, announced infamous celebrity warrior Stevie Whitlock to sue his family. To date, it doesn't seem like he's followed through. Whatever the history of publicity stunts, grand staging. Still, she's managed to rack up a few legal victories. Fortunately, none of these seems related to the Rootrees. Okay. I bought a new track. It's almost been another hour, so we'll probably have to stop there. Oh boy, there's gonna be a rap song we have to listen to later. But I think that's it for now, so have a good day, everybody. I'll come back with the rest of it later. Bye!